Hello. Okay, sorry about that. If anybody was watching, my sound is being a little odd today. Alright, so we're finally back to the Z-axis build. Gotta locate our spot in the manual here. Alright, brass. So I think where we left off, we were about to assemble these guys that I didn't have any pins. So, let's see what I have now. I actually got pins from several locations. Well, two. Fastenal and McMaster-Carr. And I'm not 100% sure, right offhand, which pins we should be using. So, see if we can figure that out here real quick. That's the ones from Fastenal. And then we've got a couple different versions from McMaster-Carr. So when I bought the Fastenal ones, I just kind of bought some pins. Oh, my mouse is not cooperating. There we go. I had to find an alternative source of engranger for the pins, so let's see. Stainless steel dowel pins. Grade A1. There we go. Grade A1 stainless steel. Alright, so that was what was in the bomb. Alright, here's A1 from McMaster-Carr. I know very little about steel and what hardnesses or whatever that we should be using for these pins. So I'm going to pull up Fastenal here and search for this part number. Big question is, which of these numbers on here is a serial number? Ah, found it. So these pins are grade A2. So let's just say those aren't any good. I don't know. Now, let's try McMaster-Carr.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. I'm just trying to figure out which of these bags of stainless steel pins I should be drawing from.
Oh, that's a really good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was trying to look and see what I ordered from McMaster-Carr here. So, I know in the BOM it says A1 stainless steel pins. And the ones I bought from Fastenal apparently are A2, which I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
Not sure if you have any enlightening commentary on that.
Oh, which ones have you got?
Well, like I said, in the BOM, from what I can tell from Granger, it's looking at A1 stainless steel.
Okay.
From Fastenal, I bought apparently A2 stainless steel because I did. Or
These are for the bed, right?
Yeah, for the bed.
Well, take a look at the actual specs. Really, two different screw sizes in the same assembly. Sorry. I have finished the CR10 S. It is. I have a pet bang on it, and I was getting 80-degree overhangs with acceptable overhangs at 80 degrees without supports. So how's that?
Nice.
But I am getting my butt kicked trying to get a display to work properly on. I'm having trouble getting a display to work properly with Clipper with the SKR Pro board. And it very well could be simply operator error. But I ran into the same problem before, and it turned out that's just nature of the beast. Okay, you're still breathing. That's a good sign.
Yep.
No, I thought the stream had frozen.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at my orders and listening to you talk.
So the question I have, and I think the question that you have, is what's the difference between the A1 and the A2 steel?
Yeah, but I also have the McMaster car stuff you recommended that I get, and I don't know what the difference is.
Is it like 313 stainless or something like that?
One of them has an A1 on the package, so I think that probably means A1 steel.
You're going to have a part number. If you grab that part number and look it up in McMaster car, it'll give you the Rockwell hardness and everything.
Yeah, I tried typing in the part number, what I thought was a part number, and that didn't seem to work very well. But I just logged in instead.
This. Yeah, the part number should start with a 9.
Okay, so one of them apparently has a Rockwell hardness of, where did it go? I just seen it. C52.
Okay.
And then the other one seems to have, I have no idea because it doesn't seem to be listed.
Yeah, go with the 52. Probably fine.
So, let's see. I'll probably grab that, but, so I just opened up the dowel here, and it says 8-18 stainless steel.
Okay. 818 stainless is fine. That's what I got.
Okay.
That's what I use.
Yes. And then this other one. Oh, crap. Yeah, I don't know what the hardness of the 818 is, but then the other one was the Rockwell 52.
Okay. Yeah, if you got 818, you're probably fine.
All right. Guess I will just set this off to the side. So what to do with 75 useless dowels? Maybe I can use them to pin some parts together or something.
How many did you buy?
Well, for whatever reason, you had suggested 2 different kinds, so I just ordered them both for whatever reason the other day.
Oh, yeah?
But that was after I had already bought the ones from Fastenal. So I have, Fastenal ones came in a pack of 25, and then the C52 hardness pins came in a pack of 50.
Ah.
So 75 altogether. Maybe I can use them to pin some 3D prints together for some reason or another someday in the future.
Well, yeah, you can always, like I said, you can always throw them up on plates from the stuff of the thing, right? Because I'm brain dead.
So, finally seem to have managed to make the customers happy enough to say that they will have us, or allow us to send the,
That's good.
send the machine in to their plant.
Ship it.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good news.
Yeah, it was, everybody at the place is relieved. I mean, I don't know. I might actually have the weekend off for the first time in, I don't know, months and months. Like the whole weekend, not just one day.
You should have weekends off. In fact, they should comp everybody a few days. But that's just me. Right? Because I always said, work hard, you can play hard. If you work hard, and especially with as much overtime as you've been getting, you're not on you don't get overtime.
No, I get overtime.
Oh, do you want the time off?
What's that? I'm sorry, what was it? You broke up there. I didn't really hear what you said.
The time off.
I'm assuming you're saying, do I want the time off? And yes, I would like to be a normal human again. No, it used to be relatively rare for me to work, a weekend. Not super rare, like I might work a Saturday. Sundays were almost unheard of. And then for the last 4 months, I've been working nonstop. Pretty much. Aside from a couple holidays and 2 Sundays that they gave us off.
That's harsh.
Indeed. Funny story. We actually have a guy who works at my company, and his first name is Harsh. Like, literally, that is his name. I guess in India, Harsh is a common first name. That's okay, though. There was a time I spent some time in Turkey because we sold some machines to a company. A lot of our business with them is in the United States, but they happen to get a contract in Turkey. And we have a machine that has password protection, and one of the default users is Don. He was the guy who programmed the original machine.
Okay.
And when I was showing them the password feature, they kept laughing. I didn't know why. And eventually they asked me, what does Don mean? And I'm just like, oh, that's just, the creator's name. And they told me in Turkey, Don means underwear.
All right, then. I'm sure Don was happy to find that out.
I told him. It's kind of amusing. My name, apparently, and spelled the way I spell it in Turkey, means plum.
Plum or plump?
Plum, like the fruit.
Plum. Oh, that's nice.
Ah. A lot better than underwear.
That is true, sir. That is true. I have successfully gotten the display to work. Requires turning a plastic fitting around, or the terminal cover.
Interesting.
It's just wired backwards. The board itself is wired backwards. That's the point.
Gotcha.
Because it's just which end has got the connector on it, right? That's what it boils down to.
I have to say, I do like this little arbor press. It's perfect for lab use. Lab meaning what I call the place where I do all my 3D printing in the house.
Yeah.
All right. So once you finish the CR10, what is your next project? Jubilee or something else?
I need to get this CR10S5 ready to go by this weekend. But I've been sick all week, so.
Yeah, how are you feeling, by the way? Any better?
It's moved into my chest now.
Yeah, I was sick for a significant portion of 2019. I think I may have mentioned it before, but I was sick for about 5 weeks after I got back from Belgium the last time.
Yeah,
And
that's all right. My boss is sicker than I am. He's got, he's on an anti-congestion and then, I don't know, something else. But he's worse off than I am. And we're both still working. Because still got to get stuff done, right?
Mhm. Yeah, after being sick for 5 weeks, I was all right for a few weeks, and then pretty much most, if not all, of December and a fair portion of November, I was sick as well. I had, don't know. I have a feeling it was related to the sickness I had in May, but I'm not sure.
Mm. Putting in the little screw hook.
Yeah, that's what I need to do
Spring hook.
next. I was had a few random things on my. I have not done real good at putting things away appropriately, so I spent about a half an hour organizing, and I missed a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, told myself I need to not allow myself to continue building until I clean some, at least every day until I catch back up again. I was kind of, I guess partly due to the lack of time, I was just trying to get as much done as quickly as I could and letting the mess pile up around me. Oh, I did get another set of Delrin pieces in.
Yeah.
Yeah, figure I'll take your suggestion and sell it off.
Oh yeah. Just do that.
Yeah, makes sense. I have my shipping notification from
For
for
the new stuff.
Yeah, I always forget the name of the place for some reason. Mandela
Oh, for the aluminum
Rose.
crossbar.
Yeah.
Mandela Rose works. I did order one, but mine may not be ready yet. I don't know. I didn't remember seeing a ship notice, but who can tell?
Huh. Little screw anchor he has in here. They come with a little nut on them, but he doesn't show the nut in the picture.
Oh, all right.
Of course, the nut is supposed to be on there so you can have something to tighten it up against. I think Luke was a little disappointed that everybody started to go, oh, Mandela Rose wants to do the corner brackets? Let's go with that. He wanted to use the excuse to buy himself a mill.
Yeah.
Which I don't really blame him, but I don't think we all wanted to wait for him to buy one, assemble it, and figure out how to put it together, or how to use it.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a mess. So I have two boards with the same model number on them, but obviously they have different firmwares because one works and the other one doesn't.
Can you not just update the firmware?
Maybe, but I don't want to spend the time figuring out how to update the firmware on this thing. It's not, it's the display board.
Oh.
So I'll just use the older one that does work.
hold does not seem to be perpendicular to the surface of this print. Either that or I've messed it up somehow.
No, that's not good.
I don't think it's really required for the anchor, but maybe that's why he drew the anchor without the nut. Because the nut wouldn't be sitting flush against the surface and therefore would not be, wouldn't be a good idea to keep it on.
Nice. Okay, I've got a working display now.
Nice.
Now, hello, Fuzzy. Hi, bud. What's up? Where are you going to go? What's up? Want some more food? No, is there? No, you just want cuddles? Mostly he says, let's go to bed. Bedtime. I got some really good news this afternoon.
What's that?
My sister does not have cancer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a big scare there for a while. Why are you looking at me like that? I didn't. Waiting the big fuzzball to roll us. Now, to make up a couple of DuPont connectors. But in order to do that, I have to first find the DuPont connectors. Those are not DuPont, those are JSTs. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of connectors, and they're all these little tubs. Most of them are labeled. It's just finding the right one. There's so many microcontrollers around here, it's not even funny. Pins, that's nice. Where are the sockets? Those are JSTPHs. It's great. If I were making up JSTPHs. Although they would probably work, but I'd rather use the DuPonts because I got to go on the pins, a pair of pins on the board. So I got to go find the other box. Because what happens, and I'm sure you have the same kind of issue at times, is you end up with thousands of pins and no socket.
Thousands of pins and what?
JST, you know those connectors?
Yeah.
You end up with lots and lots of pins and no sockets.
Gotcha. Probably don't go through as many as you do, so I don't have that problem as bad. But I know what you're talking about.
But invariably, what happens is I get a package of connectors, and for some reason I take the spool of sockets out, and then it gets dropped in a box somewhere. Usually associated with the project that it's being worked on.
He doesn't call out the hardware in this one.
Or it gets on my desk, and the next thing I know, the cat has knocked it off, and it's no longer on my desk, but under my desk. Ta-da! I found some that have been, looks like they've been stepped on, but it might have like 3 of them on there that I can use. Considering I need 2, or I will break 2 of them.
Yeah, I want to get around to my projects for the summer. Better storage solutions is definitely going to be a big one, so I can, for this space. I might be getting, so we have this machine.
Cut out there.
Oh, sorry. Basically, I got a storage solution. It's going to be a big one where I make sure I have spots for all the tools and everything.
Okay.
You know, drawers where they can be put away appropriately. Probably put up some more pegboard. Get my workbenches. Like right now, one of my work tables, it's so bowed that I had put a couple cases of drill bits on top of each other, and they slid off from one another. And there's not even anything that crazy on the table. It's just a cheap plastic table that's terrible.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, so so yeah, I have big plans to replace the tables, but we have these machines called inflators at work, and we had this about approximately 2 foot by 3 foot sheet of metal that was milled to be pretty darn flat. I don't know if it quite compares to a sheet of granite or not, but it needed to be really flat for what it was doing, and we ended up replacing it, and now it's just sitting there not being used. So I'm trying to see if, what's that?
Have you asked for it?
I did. So when they have a discussion about what they're going to do with the scrap pieces, depending on the outcome of that, I might be able to get a hold of it.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That way I don't have to try to go buy something, and it's a pretty nice piece of metal that's just sitting there useless. But the question is would we ever reuse that for a future machine? They bought a larger one, basically, so that they're probably not going to be using it anymore, unless they decide to go with the old design for a future machine for some reason.
Okay.
In other words, there's a fair chance that I'll be able to get a hold of it, essentially.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, I managed to get out of work at about 5 today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. My boss actually left even earlier than that. He left at about 4.
All right. That's even better.
I don't think he went home last night, though.
Oh.
So he deserves to get out of there a little earlier. See, we moved to a new location, and about 2 or 3 years ago, and it made his drive even longer. And then we also had a snowstorm, so combine those
Yeah.
two things, and the fact that we got out at about 9 o'clock, he said screw it and got a hotel.
No. Dude, seriously. Sorry, chasing the cat away from live tournament. Because he's dumb. And because it's something I'm currently working. And he's like, I'll just jump up here. It's like, no, don't.
Well, as I say, curiosity killed the cat.
There's more to that phrase.
Oh, you want to hear something randomly anecdote? Well, I can't speak.
Yeah, word that's so hard to say right now. Yeah.
That one. So have you ever wondered why second, like meaning like second place, and second as in the time second is the same word?
Why is that?
What's that? So there's a YouTube channel, Steve Mold, and it was one of the topics he covered. It was just kind of a randomly, like 5 random things that were interesting. Like he does these various videos that are really neat, but every now and then he collates like a small list of things and makes a video on it.
Okay.
But anyway, so watching his video would be the better source of information, but essentially what it boils down to is back in, I think, Latin, minuta or something like that. Like, so they what's that?
Minutia?
Not minutia. It's like whatever the Latin word was. It was a phrase basically saying like a small fraction of an hour, and that was what a minute was, and it was like minuta or something along those lines. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds.
So when they went to do seconds, subdividing the hour a second time, secunda was used. And
that makes sense.
So seconds is literally second. That is why seconds and seconds are the same. Because seconds are literally the second division of an hour.
Okay.
It was just kind of interesting, like, never really thought about it. They're two seemingly completely different things, but really it was just saying basically 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially back when they were originally naming this stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I need to find my, so for whatever reason, and I probably can blame this on a cat, is...
That's why you keep them around.
I do, because I can, well, no, I've got some wire strippers, some really old wire strippers that I've had forever, and they've gone missing. But they're the ones where you can set it's not the automatic wire strippers and things like that, which, unless you get the good ones, don't work for jack on the small wires. You end up just cutting it. And so my wire strippers, for this size, actually, I might have to go for some alternative ones. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use my. So, the other crimpers have little strippers in. But it's one of these, that's the pair I've had for a really long time. And I hope I didn't leave it at a job site. But there you go.
I'm rather fond of the wire strippers I use. They're pretty basic.
Are they automatic?
No, they have a series of holes for the various gauges. But
Yep, got a commercial electric ones I got from Home Depot. The crimper type. Those are the ones that I went out and got.
there's this one wire stripper. We had like a demo van come through from a company, and they were trying to get our electricians to buy these, like, oh God, I don't know. I know they were over $100, but they would like strip and ferrule a wire all in one move.
Well, okay. How often are they doing ferrules on wires?
Actually, the electricians do quite a few ferrules.
If it can save them, let's put it this way: how much are your electricians worth?
But well, see, they all buy their own tools, so you know, they don't get supplied by the company, so buying something like that would be, it's like, would it be worth it to them personally? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've never figured out why you have to provide your own tools when you work a job like that.
I don't know. It's just kind of the way it is. I guess it has to do with, probably boils down to, if you're responsible for your own, if you have to buy the tools, you're going to treat them better, and you're not going to lose them as often. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, no. From a business standpoint, if I make you buy your own tools, I don't have to pay you. I don't have to buy the tools. I don't have to expense that.
right, there's that, of course, but I don't know. I mean, it's just the way things are done, though. Like, there will be certain tools provided by the company, but most tools are provided by the individual. I remember when I first started as a service tech, there was at least a couple $100 worth of tools I had to buy. And of course, it was kind of really terrible. Like, you know, they're getting all these guys in. It's like, okay, you need a multimeter that, like, if you bought the multimeter that they wanted you to buy, it was like around $150. And you had to buy all these various tools, and even if you harbor freighted it, you'd be close to a couple $100. You know, and they're having college kids coming, you
Yep.
know, right out of school with no money, and they're moving to be here. And then on top of that, you're like, okay, well, you need to also buy, you know, $300 or $400 worth of equipment. It's it was kind of a dick move for sure. You know, but it's just the way
Oh,
things
believe me,
are.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What's that?
And I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's really all about saving the company money.
Yeah. Now they did provide us like with a drill and drill bits. So it wasn't every tool, but wrenches, Allen wrenches, adjustable wrenches, hammers, just all the basic tools you were responsible for yourself.
Yep. Yeah. So one of the things we did when I was in the Navy is once I got a little more seniority, and we always had issues with tools going missing or not getting put back, things like that. Because you didn't buy your own tools in the Navy. I mean, the closest thing to a personal tool would be with your multi-tool on your belt. Right? But we had problems with the toolboxes and the tools, especially the 9/16, always going missing.
9/16, my old friend.
What's that?
I said, 9/16, my old friend.
My nemesis.
Anyway.
But one of the things I did when I got senior enough to actually start having some influence is we did an experiment for a year. Is every new mechanic who checked in got a tool bag. It's like, here, this is your tool bag. And all their tools had their name engraved on it. Well, it had a number on it, but it was identified.
Right.
Right? That was your tool bag. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
Right.
Tools didn't disappear anymore. They always got put back. They always got taken care of. Right? And if you still had your tool bag and it was intact, when you went to check out of the ship, you got to take it with you.
Nice.
And that worked out really, really well.
I'm sensing a butt.
Huh?
No?
No, I'm just saying that worked out really, really well. No buts.
Yeah. Having something that's yours, I think, engenders a sense of pride in whatever it is. Also, having your name or identification engraved in the tool is less incentive for somebody else to borrow your tools. I'm assuming on a Navy ship, you're going to have quite a few individuals working in maintenance and whatnot. I guess it also depends on the size of the ship, but how large of a ship did you work on? Did you hear anything I said a second ago?
Nope.
Yeah, one of us dropped out for a little bit there. Anyway,
Yeah.
how big of a ship did you end up working on?
Oh, I was on nuclear submarines.
I
So
really
I was
have.
on the Leonard P. Lipscomb, the fast attack boat. So the Leonard P. Lipscomb, and then the Montpelier, USS Montpelier. And then I was in the shipyard for a new command as a nuclear repair facility. So that's a thing.
So how much time does a nuclear submarine spend submerged? Like all the time, or does it come up a lot?
Not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't have to. The only thing we really come up for is food. We'll come near the surface for some radio traffic and stuff, but that's really about it. We don't have to come up really much at all.
I thought they had some sort of antenna that could stick up to pierce the surface of the water.
Oh yeah, we've got antennas and things like that. That's called periscope depth. We come up and use the periscope.
How big is a periscope?
Yeah, the new ones are really small.
Let me rephrase. Like, how deep are you? Like, how high or how deep can you be?
How far into the water are you while you're using the periscope?
Yeah.
I think that's in James. I have to be careful what I talk about.
Well,
I think it's about 60.
60. Wow.
Well, okay, so that's 60 feet to the keel. All right. So that's 60 feet from the bottom of the ship to the top of the periscope, give or take. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's been a while.
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice.
How many people are on like the types of submarines that you were on?
About 130, 140, between 130 and 140.
Would that be considered small for a Navy vessel as far as, like, if you're just talking about number of people? Or is that...
It is. It's reasonably small. So, okay. My Z-stop has got to get turned around.
So are they as cramped as they are in the movies, or were you working on something a little more modern?
I mean, if you look for Hunt for Red October, that's the kind of ship I was on.
Gotcha.
Not the exact flight, but that's the kind of ship I was on.
Right.
And for the most part, it was pretty spot on. The only real parts that they didn't show the engineering spaces, and they didn't show all of control. But Hunt for Red October is pretty accurate as far as, and sonar was definitely not sonar. But generally, yeah, that's pretty much how it looks. It's pretty cool. What are you guys doing? Come on. So yeah, I got my tool boards, and I started going through, setting up the tool, looking over the tool boards, and start reading stuff on it. I realized, I go to start thinking about how I'm going to wire them up to the Chimeras.
Mm-hmm.
The tool board fan outputs are 12 volts.
Seems like an odd choice.
It's not. It doesn't pass through the input voltage. I mean, it does on the heater. The heater gets passed through. It's just a MOSFET, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the PWM on the PWM so I hope that, and I didn't read it, so I can still use the 24-volt heater on the Hemera, and it's still going to use 24 volts for the stepper motor, and it's got a 2209 on it. But I need to replace my 24-volt fans with 12-volt fans.
Is there no configuration for that at all? I guess there wouldn't be if that's just what the PWM puts out.
Not that I can tell. I haven't finished reading everything yet, though.
It's just weird to me, like, Duet is generally, I mean, I can't imagine there's that many 12-volt Duets out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so everybody's going to be buying 24-volt equipment. So it just seems weird to me that they would put a 12-volt fan output on it.
Yeah, I'm reading the 12-volt. It's got the direct drive extruder tool, such as the Hemera, would normally need 4 wires for the stepper, 2 for the heater, 3 to 5 for 2 fans, and at least 2 for the temperature sensor. 11 or more wires, blah 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 blah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Duet 3D toolboard carries a stepper motor driver, 3 MOSFETs for heaters and fans, 2 fan TAC inputs, 2 temperature sensor interfaces, filament monitor, and Z-probe interfaces, along with an ARM Cortex M0, and it runs on CAN bus. So you start running through it, and it looks like for your fan, so I start looking at the wiring diagram, and if you got driver 0 for the, A plus A minus, let's just get down. That's hot, dude. Seriously. Come on. All right, I will bribe you with food. Here you go. There you go. Bribing you with food. Levi, you two will be bribed with food. There you go, bud. Bribed with cookie food. Go on. Stick your nose in there. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Once I get the wiring finished, I'll get the thing buttoned up, and I don't have to worry about it. But right now, I've got the S5 laying on its side, and the power supply is just sitting on the bench.
I should watch that movie again. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. My dad was obsessed with that movie at one point. I don't know how many times he watched it. But
Yeah.
now, so like as a kid it was kind of like, oh no, not again. But it's actually been so long now since I've seen it. I don't really remember a lot about it. I mean, I remember the basics, of course, but...
Yeah. So, right. Drawing version 1, SWD. So apparently, out 1, out 2, a 4-pin fan, a 3-pin fan, input can be 12 to 32 volts. There is a V out, but that I think is I think that's for the hot end. Dude, seriously, I just gave you food. So it's got a 2209, so it's got stall detection and stealth chop on it. Although stall detection, I guess, is, I don't know, if you get a jam, I suppose you could use that if you get a jam in the extruder. You can use the stall detection as an indicator that you're getting an extruder jam, right?
Yeah.
And it also has a 3-pin, a 3.3 volt I/O for a filament runout detector, and it has a Z probe. Where's the Z probe? Did I lose you? Are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Oh man, I've been muted. I'm not sure for how long.
For a bit. Okay, so there's 2 I/Os. I/O 0, I/O 1. So you've got a one can be used for a filament detector. The other one can be used for a Z probe.
I remember when I muted myself, but sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I did it when I drilled out the M5 holes on these.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why they went with a 12 volt fan.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really puzzling to me too.
Because you could do 12 to 32 volts input, and why are we using a 12 volt fan?